Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
A nationwide poll says voters are unhappy with the Progressive Liberal Party and the Free National Movement. That story straight ahead. A prominent businessman says the current state of the country's economy is the reason why Bahamians no longer want to be governed by the Progressive Liberal Party. That story straight ahead. 2 men are charged with last week's deadly triple shooting. That story straight ahead.
Plus, how NewCo is preparing for its big rollout. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, voters are not satisfied with the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party. And if an election were held tomorrow, the PLP would get as many votes as the FNM, according to a public domain poll which was conducted last month. However, Bahamians say they're also dissatisfied with the official opposition. Dana Smith has the details.
According to the poll, voters are deeply dissatisfied with this Christie administration. In fact, only 14% of respondents said they vote for the party if an election were called tomorrow. And the results aren't much better for the FNM. 18% of respondents said they'd vote for that party. But PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts today dismissed the poll, asserting it's not a true reflection of the state of the country.
I've said it before, the PLP will win the next general election.
Public domain researchers polled 1,000 voters between August 8th and August 16th, and the numbers aren't in the government's favor. A mere 14% said they re-elect the ruling party, 11% said they might, while 52% of respondents said they definitely won't vote for the PLP. 7% said they probably won't. 16% were unsure. According to the researchers, Bahamians believe the country is headed in the wrong direction. The poll also revealed that there is a huge appetite for change in the political landscape, and they don't think the Perry Christie-led PLP should be re-elected. But Roberts disagrees.
Polls is something that change from day to day. I watch what is happening in the United States and other places in the world and so forth. So it's not a panacea, it's maybe a snapshot at a point in time.
Roberts says the PLP's supporters are loyal and have been for a long time, and he questioned the poll's credibility, asserting the researchers behind this poll were also behind the winning predictions for the constitutional referendum.
That projection was that items 1, 2, and 3 would pass overwhelmingly. Well, we know that the results of that was not so. So I don't put too much credibility in the results of the poll this morning.
The poll also found that PLP Fort Charlotte candidate Alfred Sears is viewed more favorably than Christie. Sears intends to challenge Christie for leadership at the PLP's convention. Asked to grade political personalities on leadership on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is a better score, Sears scored 4.8 and Christie scored 4.3. Nonetheless, Roberts said Christie will win.
He didn't stand a chance in defeating Prime Minister Christie. He knows that. I've shared that with him.
Christie also ranked lower than his counterparts in other parties. Hubert Minnis had the highest score at 5.1. Branville McCartney scored 4.9. Asked if the PLP government deserves to be re-elected, only 17% of respondents said it does, while 70% said there should be a change. Despite dismal polling results for the PLP, things aren't much better for the official opposition. 37% of poll respondents said they definitely won't vote for the FNM, and 7% said they probably won't. 22% said they might. 15% of respondents said they would vote for the DNA, while 1% said they would vote for the gatekeepers, and 2% said they would vote independent. 26% said they would not vote, and 9% preferred not to say. 16% said they are undecided. Reporting for our news, I'm Dana Smith.
Thanks, Dana. While Democratic National Alliance leader Branville McCartney is labeling the results of the public domain poll encouraging, given 15% of those polled said they'd vote for the DNA, 14 for the PLP, and 18 for the FNM.
The DNA in just 5 years has completely changed the political paradigm shift of the country. You cannot say there is an FNM base and a PLP base anymore. In 5 years, DNA has done what it took The PLP, many years to do, and the FNM, that was once a third party as well, many years to do.
McCartney asserts the DNA isn't just a third party anymore. However, he voiced concern about the number of people who said they wouldn't vote or are undecided.
There's a significant amount of people who are not, or say that they're not going to vote, or they're not interested, or they're undecided. As a matter of fact, that is the largest group, and that is cause for concern. Usually when it's like that, it's almost it's a protest against the sitting government.
Well, former Baha Mar director Dionisio de Aguilar says the recent nationwide leadership poll shows that Bahamians are fed up with the Christie administration. De Aguilar says he is certain that key economic issues such as unemployment, the stalled Baha Mar project, and recent downgrades aided respondents' decisions. Simone Davis has more.
A poll conducted last month revealed that 18% of respondents said they would vote for the Free National Movement, 15% said they would vote for the Democratic National Alliance, and 14% revealed that they would vote for the Progressive Liberal Party.
De Aguilar, who's expected to be ratified by the FNM for Montague, said the poll numbers only reveal that the PLP has accomplished nothing in the past 4.5 years, and Bahamians have had enough.
And we're saying, we've given you 4.5 years. You've had no success. In fact, it's been a disaster. And now you're putting up the same team and you expect us to buy into your vision and your dream again? No, we're not stupid. We've had enough of this. We want change. We definitely want change.
De Aguilar, who recently asserted that the FNM is the best option for voters, said the PLP is relying on the same people to run the country instead of putting new people in place who are able to do a better job and contribute fresh ideas. The former Baha Mar director said the stalled multi-billion-dollar resort project, unemployment, and education are just some of the issues that led Bahamians to lose trust in the governing party.
We can go on about styles. We can go on about individuals, whether you don't like this person or that person. I'm a numbers guy. Look at the numbers. Okay, so we've had negative GDP growth. The economy is contracting. We have had 3 downgrades in the last 4.5 years. Unemployment is staggeringly high. We still got a D- average. They have accomplished nothing.
While DNA leader Brandville McCartney suggested that the poll results made his party hopeful for the next general election, De Aguilar said he believes the DNA would be no different from the PLP.
A vote for the DNA will be a vote for the PLP. And I don't think the DNA will get enough votes in a constituency to get a seat. So even if they get 20% of the vote, last time they got 8% of the vote, even if they go to 15 or 20% of the vote, the odds are they will not end up with a seat.
Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, the suspects in a triple shooting that left 2 men dead and an 8-year-old boy nursing gunshot wounds made their initial appearance in court today. Our Jasmine Brown was in court and has the details in this report.
The 2 men were arraigned here at the magistrate's court on charges relating to last week's deadly triple shooting. 23-year-old Quintino Carey, seen here in the white shirt, and 19-year-old Jakota Johnson, seen in the blue plaid shirt, were both arraigned on 3 charges relating to the deadly shooting. The 2 men appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Andrew Forbes. Carey, who was a resident of Fraser Allotment, and Johnson, who was a resident of Union Village, were charged with the murders of Mackenzie Tellis Nora and Mark Davis. They were also charged with the attempted murder of an 8-year-old boy. According to police reports, Davis and Tellis Nora were shot in the Peardale area on September 13th. Police said the 2 adult victims were standing with a group of men when 3 armed men emerged from nearby bushes and opened fire. One of the men died on scene and the other died a short time later in hospital. Police also reported that the young boy who was coming from a nearby water pump was caught in the crossfire. The men were not required to enter a plea to the charges. Carey's lawyer, Bernard Ferguson, asked that his client receive immediate medical treatment for an unspecified medical condition. Johnson was not represented by a lawyer. The two men were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and are expected back in court on October 24th. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Also appearing in court today was a 30-year-old man who was arraigned for the recent murder of a Guyanese teacher who was found dead inside her apartment earlier this month. Alistair Williams of Garden Hills appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Andrew Forbes, where he was arraigned for the murder of Marcia Bowen. Bowen, a Guyanese national and science teacher at Charles W. Saunders Baptist School, was found murdered in her Sumner Street apartment on September 9th. Williams, who was represented by attorney Nathan Smith, was not required to enter a plea to the charge. Smith told the court that his client had received significant injuries while in custody. He requested that his client see a doctor at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Acting Chief Magistrate Forbes said he would make that request. Williams was remanded into custody until October 24th. Still to come on our news, Dionisio de Aguilar speaks up on his rumored candidacy for the Free National Movement. We take you inside as NUCO prepares to launch a call center on Grand Bahama, plus how public schools are taking precautions to fight the bite and the spread of Zika. That's coming up when our news returns.